I'm aware my desk is horrendously cluttered, but I was at Panda Mart today. It's a store in Christchurch over in Northwood, and I got some cheap art supplies. I got this pen. Most of it is this Motaro brand, which I know absolutely nothing about. But I love these pens that have multicolours on them. My favourite pen is this one from Kmart. I have multiple pens like this one, but I love it. It's my beloved. But I thought if I was going to do a video talking about art supplies from Panda Mart that I got for cheap, I may as well have at least one pen to do the sketches and things in. And then, same brand as these markers. And here is at my shoulder purring. No odour. So I'm guessing these are probably water-based, because it doesn't say anything about alcohol on them. And I already have like a lot of alcohol markers, so I'm not concerned about that aspect. If they're okayish enough and they genuinely aren't alcohol markers, I might leave them in my grandparents' place for my siblings to use when they visit. I have younger siblings. I have this container of alcohol markers. These are from the warehouse. And then I have some Kent Spectra ones somewhere around here. And then I have this huge case of alcohol markers that I forget where I got them from. Probably they trade me. So, like, I have no shortage of alcohol markers. And then also, no, I don't want you on my knee right now, Lily. These erasable coloured pencils. I was going to say reusable, but all coloured pencils are reusable. Huh, crayon, it says crayons decolor in the French. I might look up Motaro. Is that like a brand specific to Panda Mart, or is it just, what is it? They had a lot of other stuff there, like they had other pencils, like watercolor ones, but I didn't want to end up with a lot of art supplies I would never use again, because I might leave these pencils and the markers at my grandparents' house so my siblings can use them, and that would be a use for them. But you know, if I got watercolor pencils and I wasn't likely to use them again, I don't think my siblings would use those either. And I'm definitely going to use this acrylic paint regardless of what I think of it. And you'll see it's the only this and the other thing are the only things that aren't Motaro. Because then we've got gouache. This will probably be a 3-part video, just because of the amount of stuff, but I want them to be somewhat lumped together. I love gouache paint, so I was tempted to try it based on that. I wonder if there's overlap in the colours. And they've got them arranged differently. There is an exact overlap. They each have colours, the other don't. Like, the bottom one has more pinky colours than the top one. Lily, what are you up to? But yeah, we'll be... I also bought a pencil case to put those pencils in. But yeah, we will be doing voiceover for the rest of it, and I'm using sketchbooks I already own just because I have a million sketchbooks. It would have been very wasteful if I had bothered buying a sketchbook at Panda Mart. So, yay. Hello, welcome. I'm swatching on the screen the pencils that I got from Panda Mart. I actually ended up liking these pencils more than I thought I would, so yes, but I'm still not really a person that uses pencil very often. Like, coloured pencil is not my preferred medium, but you know, I've got them now and I'm probably going to use them, maybe. I have some other cheap pencils I bought, I think from Kmart, and I have been thinking about doing a video where I revisit cheap art supplies I've bought in the past and talk about whether or not I use them, how good I think they are. Like, I have this huge pack of markers and it just lives in my bedroom, and I got it for really cheap, but I never use it because it's this huge inconvenient pack of markers that I can't really carry around. And then I have a smaller pack of markers under my desk, and I don't use those ones either. And then I went and bought more markers, which is ridiculous. Like, why do I keep buying markers? But then I don't think these markers that I bought at Panda Mart are alcohol markers because they're not stinky.
and they don't say anything about being alcohol markers on them, so I don't know. Either way, I think I definitely need to get into actually using my coloured pencils and my markers more often. Well, my alcohol markers. I use my Crayola markers plenty, because I don't know, I like using them. I have the pack of 100 Crayola markers, and then I also have um, I have the colors of kindness markers. I have the colors of the world markers. I have a pack of the world's favorite colors markers, but I don't use those ones yet. I haven't opened it because I was thinking of swatching it, but I've already swatched the crayon version of it, so I don't know that swatching the markers would do much. I don't know. I've just been doing a lot of swatching in this current sketchbook you're seeing on the screen. You'll also be seeing a sketchbook tour of this sketchbook somewhat soon. I've already failed the deadline of. I had a goal for the sketchbook. I wanted to finish it by a certain date, and I've already failed at that. But you know, things happen. Like I started the sketchbook on. Oh, I started on the 2nd of last month. So I guess since it's the 2nd of this month, it's the 2nd of May at the moment. Technically, if I finished it today, I did still finish the sketchbook in a month. I'm on page. I just finished page 33 of it, and there are 40 pages in it. I also, in this one, put a little list at the back, listing the characters, because that's a thing I did in my sketchbooks, and at some point I got too lazy about it. But yeah, you might actually see even a couple of sketchbook tours this month. I don't know. And then obviously there's also the mermaid videos. I still need to do today's mermaid art. I'm posting my mermaid stuff on Tumblr because Tumblr just feels like the place for it. I don't know. Every website feels like they're getting some sort of generative AI thing, and Tumblr doesn't shove that in my face. Or it doesn't have it. I don't know. They could secretly have it and I don't know about it, but as far as I know, there isn't some random bot that Tumblr is encouraging me to talk to like there is on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. So, you know, Tumblr gets my appreciation there. Tumblr, no matter what, Tumblr has always been there for me for over 10 years now. So thank you, Tumblr, for certainly being a website. I haven't started my fanfiction I was planning on writing for Mermaid, and I'm a little bit annoyed about that, but also not surprised, because it's interesting, because as a kid I liked writing. I first got into writing by writing fanfiction for a thing I was interested in at the time, and then I had this story that, if you think about it, my story, is inspired by a combination of Moby Dick and the Bible, except when I started developing the story, I was a literal child and I didn't realise I was taking inspiration from the Bible, and I've also never read Moby Dick, so the inspiration from that is just based on what I've heard of Moby Dick, rather than direct inspiration. But maybe I should actually read Moby Dick and read the Bible and take a little more direct inspiration and maybe add something else, because I don't want it to just be the Bible x Moby Dick crossover. Because I've been working on that story for a really long time and I have barely anything to it done. And then at the same time, if I ever finish that and try to get it published, I don't want to do the Age of Scorpius mistake. Because, you know, I think they're going by Miles now, and him. He was like, I have over 10,000 hours, I am an expert, and then people started reading this book and they're like, oh, this is not good. This is horrible, and then Miles just continued to make mistake upon mistake, and for some reason hire a lot of artists and have a whole team. Like, why are you doing all this? You need to have a book that is readable before you do all these other things. You can also see on the screen, I drew a character. What character is this? I also got acrylic paint and gouache paint. I talked about that in the first clip, and I have been using both of those, like, a decent amount. Oh, the character on the screen isn't any particular character. They're just a random character. Yeah, they're no one. They're just scribbled for that one page and that one page only. But I have actually been using the acrylic paint and the gouache paint, which is surprising to me, because usually I don't like acrylic paint. I love gouache paint, so it's not surprising to me that I would use that, but Yeah. I'm also thinking I'd like to use up all the gouache paint I have at the moment and then eventually get like more fancy, more expensive gouache paint. But I have like a lot of cheap gouache paint, so that's going to be a while off. So feel free to comment recommendations of your favourite brands of gouache paint. I like recommendations and it gives me an idea of how much I need to save to get it. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed watching me swatch and such. I'll see you in the next one.